Yo, it's Cap. I'm bringing you a Next Fest Demo Palooza round 4. We got 4 more games. I'm going to show you a little gameplay. I'm going to give you my thoughts and impressions on them, and we're going to go. It's actually the 5th day of Next Fest. It is June 2024, in case you're watching this 100 years from now. We skipped the day, so it's round 4 for us. It's Friday. It's just the weekend left. So I'm hoping to get 1 or 2 more in, but we got today. Let's jump in. Oh, let me tell you the games. I always forget what to do for the preamble here. We played Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. People were saying that was good, so I really want to try that one. Metal Suits. We played Waltz and Jam. And we played Glyphica Typing Survival. And that name is very accurate. All right, let's jump into these. You want to see the games. All right, so what is the first one? Let me get the game rolling here. The first one is Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, and it is developed by A44 Games. I think they're marketing it as like the people who made Ashen. So I don't know if it's the same studio, but that's what they're saying. And published by Kepler Interactive. They're marketing it as a souls-lite. And I don't know, it's not the worst term. I don't like this whole light thing instead of like, to be honest. I think it's confusing and difficult to hear. And it's just like, what is all this? But to be honest, it does kind of work. It's primarily an action adventure like God of War, maybe even like Far Cry. Like you saw the Hamlet thing just pop up. I think it because I think it has some open world elements. This, I will say, well, let me finish that. It's primarily an action adventure, but it does have some Souls elements, like the experience that you can drop on death and you have to go get it back. But it's not really like, there's not really levels or anything. It's, you just use the experience for skill points and presumably shop purchases. I'll explain why I said presumably here in a moment. And then it doesn't have stamina or anything, and it's a lot more about, as you can see, jumping around, running around. It feels a lot more like, you know, your normal console game, like a God of War, like I said, even like a Far Cry or something. So why did I say presumably? I spent like an hour with this demo. We spent the longest with this demo, and I really feel like I needed to spend a lot more with it. This demo is set up to essentially just be the beginning of the game, and so it starts you with like a cutscene, and then it takes you through like a pretty long and slow tutorial. I mean, I play slowly. It might not be long and slow for you, but you know what I mean? Like, it's going, and I don't think it's the worst way to do a demo. This one in particular got a release date for like next month. So I see what they're trying to do. They want you to like, well here's the game, and then if you like it, pre-order, right? Because you can. I think it's gonna be like $40 American. So it's not terrible to just give you just like kind of the first bit of the game and just really let you get a feel for it, decide if you like it. But as someone who's trying to like get through a bunch of demos for Next Fest, it was like the ramp up was way too long. So I only got an hour in, and I was like, I really needed to feel more of this. You know, we were just getting introduced to all the systems. We were just getting to feel it, and the gameplay I'm showing is from like our last little bit, and it's kind of right after the tutorial. It's technically still in the tutorial, but it's right after the tutorial of how to do all the movement and the attacks, and then you have to like take out this bandit camp and take it over. So you get to try to use all your stuff. So I did watch another video to kind of get some more information on this for you. It seems like I don't know if it's like super like Far Cry, but it does have some open world elements, and you do have stuff like these camps that you take over, and once you take them over, they become like a town, and you get to then they're the town on your thing. All right, so what's the setup? What should I explain about this? I'll explain the setup, and I'll explain a little bit of the combat. I think that'll make sense. This setup is, as you can see, it's kind of this mashup of like Civil War and zombie apocalypse, but it's not really an apocalypse. It's the armies of the dead have their own army, and you are fighting like an 1800s style war against them. So I think that's why it looks like Civil War. And so you're in the trenches and stuff. Your character is like a sapper in the trenches with an axe and a flintlock pistol, right? It's flintlock. That's the kind of time it is. And so it's kind of a low fantasy setting. It's kind of gritty, it's kind of realistic, but you do get to do a lot of cool stuff. There is zombies, there is magic and whatnot. But yeah, it looks a lot more. I was expecting much more of a fantasy game coming in. But that's the setting, and you're kind of trying to like. The whole thing is like a vengeance, kill all the gods, because the gods are where the army of the dead's coming from, right? And you're this girl, you've got your axe, you've got your pistol, you've got this cute fox thing who also is going to help you defeat the gods, but he's a magical fox. he's kind of on the god's side, right? He's got magical powers, but he wants you to help. He wants to help you take him down. So and that's essentially your combat abilities. You can swing your axe, you can shoot your pistol, and you can use the fox for magic. And they're essentially like 3 buttons. Like your normal attack is your axe, and then you've got a special shot with the pistol, which gives you a little bit of range, and it also gives you a parry ability. Like there's attacks, the little red flash attacks can only be done with can only be stopped by parrying. You don't really have you do kind of have a dodge, but it seemed to me a lot more about the blocking, and then a parry where you do like a perfect block and you get a parry and you get a big attack from it. As you can see, you can flip around and do some dodges. There's some cool jumping and platforming you can do with the pistol. Like it feels pretty good to play. And then you have a third button, which is like which is like ask the fox to attack, and he'll like start doing the purple attacks on him and stuff. And you can build up the purple on them through the fox and your own attacks, and you get like a big guard break. It's not really like a poise bar. It's like you're building something else. You're building something on them, and then you get like a big guard break. And if they have armor like this guy, it'll delete their armor. If they don't have armor, it'll just delete them. And you do have like a potion mechanic. You do have, campfires that you sit at. You see the purple building down at the bottom. I think this guy actually dies if you manage to build his purple bar. But you can build it with the fox, but you can also just do some attacks. You can also just try to play well and get it. And I really wanted to play more of this because the combat did feel good. It did feel good. I did like it. I just felt like I didn't get to do it. I spent most of my time, I only have so much time for a demo when I'm trying to do multiple ones. See, then we get a town. I only have so much time for a demo when we get multiple ones. And I spent most of the time like going through the tutorial. But I will say, as far as like an action adventure, the combat had enough complexity to be interesting. It did feel like a little bit like a Souls, like you've got that kind of thing, but you didn't have to worry about the stamina bar, and it didn't feel like as heavy and intense. It felt a little bit more like a fun console game. But I mean, you saw I did die. You do die pretty quickly. So it's like the souls-lite is not a bad description. It's not a bad description. So there's some looking at the map. So I don't know. I really wanted to play some more with it, but I liked it. I think it has some potential. And I think if you're considering purchasing it, go check out the demo because it's coming up soon in a month, and you can play through just the beginning of it and really see if you're into it. All right, let me bring you back to my big face because I think I'm about to stop the game here. So yeah. So I thought it was great. I did like it. I don't know if I'm super sold on the aesthetic. I kind of, like the whole 1800s war, I really wasn't expecting, like a trench warfare type thing. But there you go. But I did. Oh, here you go. Maybe I should go back to the. Oh, and it disappeared. Captain, gotta get your prep right. Whatever. We're calling it. We're calling it. I'm not sure on the aesthetic. I'd have to see if I got into it. I think the combat has a lot of potential from my little first impressions. People have been saying it's good. People been saying it's good. People been debating on whether if it's Souls or not. I was expecting more God of War, to be honest. But it does. It manages to blend like your standard console experience, you know, action adventure with some Souls element and be pretty good about it. All right, I'm rambling at this point. All right. So that was Flintlock Siege of Dawn, developed by A44 Games and published by Kepler Interactive. All right, so round two. Round two, what's up next? Captain, what else you got? All right, so we tried to play something a little different. Number 2 is Metal Suits. Let me get this gameplay loaded here. Number 2 is Metal Suits, developed by Eggtart Inc. and published by the same, Eggtart Inc. This is a, you see, kind of has a retro feel to it. It's like a retro action feel, like a command. I don't know. I feel like it's Commander Keen inspired, but I don't know if I'm just too old. It also feels a lot like Broforce. It's got that kind of quick action and interesting. So you can get these suits. You get a suit drop, and the suits are actually seem to be random. And then they have different guns. They have different specials. And they have different, I mean, I guess it's technically a different melee, but it's all a melee. And if you look at the top left, you could see the little energy bar. It's the yellow bar. It's counting down. Anytime you get hit or just time passing, you're doing shoots and things. Yeah, I think it's specifically shoots. I don't think it's specifically time. Your suit will run out of energy. And when you run out of it, you go back to your basic set. And if you get hit in your basic set, you lose one of your lives. So, but there's several places throughout the level that have a suit, and if you get there, it gives you like a random suit. So, you know, I think I died in this level and had to come back. And when I did, and I got the first suit again, it was a different one. So I've seen like a shotgun suit, I've seen a flamethrower suit, I've seen like a pulse cannon suit, I've seen a minigun suit, I saw like a weird suit where you like throw orbs. It was interesting, but it seems to me the game is meant to be played really quickly. You know, you really get into the action and you start running around and you just blast things as you're going. There are secrets you can find, like collectibles, so it seems like there's a certain amount of levels set up and you can, you know, just blast through it, or you can look around. There's your basic suit set up now, or you can look around and try to find the secrets. But I don't know, it felt good. It really reminded me in so many ways of just like the old school side-scroller shooters like Commander Keen, like the old Duke Nukem before it went 3D. if you're old like me and you play these games, it really reminded me of that. But it also reminded me of Broforce, which is a much more modern example that you may be more familiar with and maybe more accurate for the speed of the play. I actually had a really, really good time with this. It just put a smile on my face. It doesn't take itself very seriously. It just seems to be about a lot of fun and a lot of action. Get some explosions, get some shoots, play with some cool things, and blow up some aliens, because they blew up your robo dog when they took over the space station, and you're gonna show them. You're gonna make them pay, right? And I love this. I loved everything about this. And I don't know, I don't have too much else to say. It was actually just really fun. It was just a really fun thing to do and play, and I recommend checking it out. So I won't linger. I'll just let it go. But that is Metal Suits by Eggtart Incorporated and published by the same Eggtart Incorporated. And I had a really good time with it. All right, let's bring you back to the big face. Okay. We're going. All right, so that was 2. We're 2 in, 2 down, 2 to go. The next one, I did keep the variety up. The next one, our third game, is Waltz and Jam. And let me get the gameplay loaded for that too. Waltz and Jam, here you go, which is a top-down Zelda-like, but you could jump, which adds a lot, believe it or not. And it's not really like straight top down. It's like 3/4 top down. It's like Crow Game. It's not the name of it. It's Death's Door. It's like Death's Door if you've played that. Probably like Tunic. I haven't played Tunic, although I want to. But it's that kind of thing. So you get a sword, you get a jump, which is actually pretty nice for the platforming. And you can jump on some enemies. Like, he's got big sneakers, so you can do that. This is a very lighthearted game about kind of not a lighthearted subject. You are a ghost, and presumably your little dog, cat, ferret friend is also a ghost, and you're in like, what did they call it? I forget what they called it. It had a cute name. But you have just like woken up out of your coffin, and you're trying to move on. And so you have to get your ticket, and you have to get it stamped in so many areas, and presumably that's how the game works. You go to each area, beat a boss, you get a stamp, and then you can move on. And they hint at you, it's like, you really don't want to get stuck here. You turn into one of these monster guys. And so, but it's all just very fun. Like, the animations are really cute and whimsical. So it's like, it's kind of a macabre thing, but it's presented in just a really fun it's just a really fun, happy way. Like, the cutscenes are they're done like cartoons, where there's just gags and goofy movements and stuff. I actually had a really fun time with this game. It was very charming. I like games like this. I really like Death's Door and stuff. I mean, I like, like Link's Awakening, like actual top-down Zeldas. I like these kinds of games. This is just me dicking around. we were in a tutorial area, so it starts off kind of slow. But I will say it's a pretty chill game. It's not, I mean, it's the beginning, so maybe it's just not too intense. But it was pretty fun just to play and just like chill out, and it wasn't like a big deal. All right, Captain, what are you doing then? Let's see if we get so like you save at these little arcade things. It's very lighthearted. It's very fun. I'll tell you what. I thought this clip might get too boring, so I'm going to. I prepared another clip. I prepared a boss fight clip to give you a little sense of maybe a little bit higher action in it. So let's switch to that one. There we go. There we go. So this is I don't think it's the end of the tutorial or anything. The end of the demo or anything, but it was the end of the little tutorial zone. As you get your sword and you learn how to jump and stuff, and then it's like, oh, big tree, fight the boss, get your ticket, right? And so I don't know, it felt like a Kirby boss to me. I thought it was gonna be a Mario boss, so I was like waiting for the opportunity. But no, you're actually supposed to go up and hit it and whack it, and it has some mechanics. It feels a lot like a Kirby boss. I had a good time with it, and it seems like that's what the game is. You're gonna walk around, you're gonna do your adventure. You're going to try to find some things. It has like pieces of heart and stuff. It does have some, I don't know if it has like items, but it does have some things you're collecting along your way. Like, we got the sword, and there was room in our little briefcase for a few other things. So I expect to get a few more like gameplay things. And then you go, then you do your exploration. We did meet some like NPCs we could talk to and stuff. And then you can come beat a boss. Right, and you beat the boss, and then like you beat the area. It's very chill. It's like, it doesn't seem to be super hard or super stressful. It's just kind of peaceful and enjoyable, and a little bit whimsical about this little ghost trying to pass on, I guess. I don't know. It was very cute. It was very fun. I liked it. I felt like I'm repeating myself again, but I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit of this. But there you go. I think that's enough. You've seen it. But yeah, I had a really good time with this game. So let's bring. So that is Waltz and Jam by developer. Oh, I didn't say the developer. By developer Flyway Games, not Fly Away. Flyway, Incorporated, and published by Flyway Games as well. So looks cute. Kind of excited for it. All right, let's bring us back. Let's bring us back. You'll never know if I beat the boss. I did beat the boss. I actually first tried it and didn't get hit. All right, so that's going to bring us to our final game, our fourth and final game, which is something different yet again. I like to get some variety in the night, so I think we managed to. So our fourth and final game, as I get your gameplay set up here, is, as I said earlier, Glyphica Typing Survival. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Get ready. There you go. They're coming at us, and they are words. Oh, did I leave my mouse on the screen? Okay, look, this game was kind of tense. All right. I might have to fast forward a little bit so you could see some more. But I thought it would be just because it's kind of hard to conceptualize this game. Like, it is a survivors game, like Vampire Survivors. I think they called it a roguelike horde shooter or something. I was like, a roguelike horde survival. That's what they called it. I was like, yo, what a descriptive name for that genre. Because essentially, at least in my experience, Vampire Survivors came out of nowhere, and then it blew up, and there was a bunch of Survivors games, and I love those games. They're really fun. So this is one of those. You don't move, but you have to type. All the enemies are words, and they come at you, and you have to type them out. And as you type them, it shoots them, right? And then if you get enough of them, you get a level up. You hit spacebar to level. Like, the whole game is played on the keyboard. So you hit spacebar to do the level up, and then it pulls up your pick your upgrade. I think I hit the wrong thing here. Oh, I was trying. It was a little loud. I was trying. You can't adjust the settings in the middle of the game. That's what it was. So then you hit spacebar and you get your pick your three power-ups. That's how these games work. You're trying to out level the horde. You're trying to. The enemies are just gonna keep spawning. You're trying to gain your power quick enough that you can deal with them. Now it seemed like this didn't count down. It counted up. So I don't know if it's always infinite survival or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it was just that way for the demo. But you pick like a starting weapon, and in the demo there was just the one. And then as you get level ups, you could get more weapons. And what they do, so like, because you have to type, you don't really do anything but type. It's a typing game. You even type the names of you even type the words at the bottom of the power ups to get them. And this was loot, right? I picked up a chest. Well, how'd I pick up the chest? The chest spawns as you type out the word on the chest, and you can pick it up. So what you get is weapons that are like, if the word has these vowels, spawn a mine. If the word has these vowels or these letters, make a drone. If there's like anytime after you type a word, you also shoot a wave laser in that direction, right? It's stuff like that. So kind of your weapons are taking care of themselves while you're just typing out things. And then it just here. Let me see if I can get it further on. There's not too much to explain with this game, to be honest. Let me just see if I can like get it to a higher level, so you can see some of the craziness. There you go. It's getting a little better. Maybe I should just like skip ahead here. No, it's loading. Oh, good. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you start to get some weird words, like ones that only show you the first couple letters, and you've got to start typing to see the rest. You get ones that you have to type 2 words. You get them where they all spawn, and they're starting to come at different rates, right? It's the longer you go, the more it ramps up. That's how it gets. That's how the Survivors games gets. That's why they're exciting. And this one gets exciting, but it stressed me. I was like at the end, and you get like all these words on the screen, and you're like, oh, which one do I even type? I have a habit of looking at the keyboard, not to even read the keys, but just to get my hands back in the right place. I have a habit of like getting my hands all over the place as I'm typing. And so I have to like glance down just to get started again. And I would like do it, and I glance down, but glance back up, and there'd be like words all around me. And I'm like, oh no. And so it really is like a typing. I feel like this is one of those games where if I was a kid, I would try to convince my parents, like, no, it's a learning game. Or like you try to convince the principal to add it at school because it's how you practice typing, because you really do. It really is a typing game. You are really practicing typing. When you get done, it gives you a score on how many words you got, how many words per minute did you type, how many mistakes did you make. And that doesn't really, there's no penalty to making a mistake, except you have to restart the word. It doesn't like hurt you or anything. So it's not like a big deal for the survivors part of the game. You could still play, you could mess up words, whatever. You could type slowly, but you might die if they get to you. But it does tell you at the end, like, hey, what was your words per minute? What was your accuracy? Which are really neat stats to look at the end of the stream or at the end of the gameplay. So it was fun. I think we made it to like 15 minutes or something, and it was just, you see how many words there are, and you're like, what would happen to me is I'd start to panic, and then I wouldn't know which word to type, because essentially if as long as I was typing words, my weapons would take care of things. But if there was a big wave of things coming at me and I hadn't typed any of them yet, I would end up like panicking. Because like, which one do I type? You know what I mean? There's so many words. Oh no. Yeah, like this. Like, what do you just like, as long as I was like, I just have to type one of them and then all the weapons will kick in. I'll be okay, right? And you can see that's how it worked. So it was, I don't know. I actually I had way more fun with this game than I thought than I had any right to. And pretty much almost every typing game I have played feels like that. Like, if it's any good, like it's just like, why is this typing fun? But it just ends up being that way. And this was quite a bit of fun. I will say I'm not convinced all the words are actual words. I think there's some words for some other languages or cultures, and I was like, what are these words? What are these? So it was actually pretty challenging to type them, because I was like, I don't know what that word is. Like, I've never typed that word, and so I just have to like do it by letter and stuff. There are some stats. I don't look at it till the end, but there are some stats where it's tracking your weapons DPS. You can look up. I think you hit F1. It's under my camera. You hit F1, it'll tell you about all your weapons and your current upgrades and stuff. So there's like a lot of neat stuff you can check during the run and things. I had a really fun. This game takes like 3 seconds to explain. But I just want to talk about it because it's crazy. I had more fun than this than I thought I would. I don't know if you want to practice your typing, if you just want to have a crazy survivors experience that you certainly haven't had before, because you can feel like there's a lot of survivors games these days. But man, this one's unique. Go try that. Go try the demo and experience this insanity for yourself. And this is dark mode, by the way. The light mode isn't too bad. It's like a tan paper with red enemies. But I was really appreciated they let you put it in dark mode so you could like chill out and work on your typing. With your lights off, I guess. So that's what we put it in. I appreciated that feature. But yes, that is Glyphica, typing survival. I forgot to do the developer and publisher this time again too. Well, I'll tell you now. Developed by Alias Black and published by Alias Black and Squeaky Wheel, which was a lot of fun. All right, we'll bring us back to the face. So a lot of variety today. That is our 4 games. It's our 4 games. A lot of variety today. I actually had a lot of fun with all of them. The only one that gave me the most trouble was the first one, Flintlock, and that's solely because it was a demo that's really meant to be played for a couple hours. It's really just like play through the opening chapter of the game, and I didn't really have the stream set up to do that, so I didn't really get where I wanted to with the game. But like I said, I still think it definitely had potential. It was like, yeah, I'd keep playing this. This seems interesting, and the combat was solid. But yeah, that's what we played. We played Flintlock. We played Metal Suits, right? The side-scroller action shooter with great fun. Waltz and Jam, like our top-down Zelda-like, that was really chill and cute and goofy. And then Glyphica, typing survival, which is a typing survivors game. Because it's in the name. So actually a really fun day playing the demos. Really fun demos to do. Next Fest is fantastic. If you haven't got it yet, the weekend's the perfect time. Get out there, try some demos. They're all over the place. Just download some crazy demos and have some fun with it. But hopefully you, I don't know, got to see something you would like here, or at least can knock these off your list. There's more demos you experienced, even though you didn't have time to play them. Hopefully you're finding cool stuff, and hopefully you just enjoyed watching, enjoyed listening, and hanging out. And thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for clicking on the video and all that stuff. I hope you got something out of it. But that's gonna do it for me. So have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. Have yourselves a great weekend, a great Next Fest. I want to say I hope things go well for you, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'll probably do at least one more of these because we're gonna play tomorrow. I don't know if we're gonna play. If we're lucky, we can play Sunday too. But yeah, that's my plans with these. So have yourselves a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging. See you around.